The CEO's Savior. A werewolf romance story. Opening. Hello, my beautiful dreamers. This is Luna, and welcome back to Luna's Romance Audiobooks, where kindness is never wasted and true love sees past all disguises. Tonight I have a story that will warm your hearts and restore your faith in destiny. It's about a young woman whose compassion changes everything. About a powerful alpha hiding in plain sight. And about how one act of kindness can lead to the love of a lifetime. Picture this: a rainy night, a stranger in need, and a choice that will change two lives forever. She thinks she's saving a homeless man. He knows he's found his mate. And neither of them realizes that fate has been orchestrating this moment all along. So grab your favorite blanket, settle in close, and let me tell you about the night everything changed. This is the CEO's Savior. Prologue. The rain. The rain was relentless. I clutched my worn jacket tighter, my sneakers squelching through puddles as I hurried home from my double shift at the diner. It was nearly midnight, the streets of the city empty, except for the occasional car splashing through the downpour. I was exhausted, broke, and wondering how I'd make rent this month. Then I saw him. He was huddled in a doorway, soaked to the bone, his clothes torn and dirty. At first I thought he was just another homeless person seeking shelter from the storm. The city was full of them, especially in this neighborhood. But something made me stop. Maybe it was the way he held himself. Despite the ragged clothes and the grime, there was something different about him. Or maybe it was just my foolish heart that couldn't walk past someone suffering. "Sir?" I approached cautiously. "Are you okay?" He looked up and I forgot how to breathe. Even dirty and disheveled, he was beautiful. Sharp cheekbones, strong jaw, and eyes. Oh God, his eyes. They were the color of amber, glowing slightly in the darkness, and they held an intensity that made my wolf stir inside me. Which was strange. My wolf never stirred for anyone. "I'm fine," he said, his voice rough. "Just waiting out the rain." "You'll catch pneumonia." I glanced at the sky. The storm wasn't letting up anytime soon. "There's a shelter 2 blocks from here. No shelters." His response was immediate, almost panicked. I studied him more carefully. He was shivering, his lips tinged blue. Whatever his story was, he needed help. And I'd never been good at walking away from people who needed help. "I have a couch," I heard myself say. "It's not much, but it's dry and warm. You can stay the night, get cleaned up, and tomorrow we can figure out—" "You're offering a stranger your couch?" Those amber eyes fixed on me with laser focus. "Do you have any idea how dangerous that is?" "Probably very," I admitted. "But you're clearly in trouble, and I can't just leave you here in the rain." "You don't know me." "I know you need help. That's enough." For a long moment he just stared at me. Then slowly, he stood. He was tall, easily 6'2" or 6'3", and even in his bedraggled state, there was something commanding about him. "You're either very brave or very foolish," he said. "Definitely foolish." I offered a smile. "I'm Mira, by the way. Mira Chen." "Dante." He didn't offer a last name. "Well, Dante, let's get you out of this rain." As we walked the 3 blocks to my tiny studio apartment, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd just made a decision that would change my life forever. I had no idea how right I was. Because the homeless man I'd just brought home wasn't homeless at all. He was Dante Wolf, billionaire CEO of Wolf Industries, and alpha of the largest pack in the city. And the moment he'd looked into my eyes, he'd known. I was his mate, the one he'd been searching for his entire life. And he had absolutely no intention of ever letting me go. Chapter 1. The Stranger. My apartment was tiny, a studio in a converted warehouse with a bathroom the size of a closet and a kitchen that was basically a hot plate and a mini fridge. But it was mine, and it was clean. "Sorry about the size," I said, grabbing a towel from my tiny bathroom. "It's not much, but the rent is cheap and the landlord doesn't ask questions about wolves." Dante took the towel, his fingers brushing mine. The contact sent a jolt of electricity up my arm. It's perfect, he said, and something in his voice made me think he actually meant it. The bathroom's through there. There's hot water, though not a lot of it. I have some clothes that might fit. My ex left some stuff behind. I rummaged through my closet, pulling out sweatpants and a t-shirt. They'll be big on you, but at least they're dry. Your ex? There was an edge to his voice. Yeah, he left 6 months ago. Said dating a broke Omega with no prospects wasn't his idea of a future. I tried to keep my voice light, like it didn't still hurt. Anyway, bathroom's all yours. I'll make some tea. While he showered, I busied myself with my ancient kettle, trying not to think about the attractive stranger currently naked in my bathroom. What was I doing? I'd brought a complete stranger into my home. He could be dangerous, could be a criminal, could be... The bathroom door opened, and all thoughts fled. Dante emerged in the borrowed clothes, his dark hair still damp, his amber eyes bright against clean skin. Without the grime and rain, he was even more devastating. And his scent, now that he was clean, I could smell it properly. Pine and leather, and something expensive, like old money and power. My wolf practically purred. Better? I managed. Much. Thank you. He moved into the small space, and suddenly the apartment felt even tinier. I should explain, you don't owe me any explanations. I handed him a chipped mug of tea. Whatever your situation is, it's none of my business. You're very trusting. You're very suspicious. I smiled. Look, I'm not going to pry. You needed help. I offered it. Tomorrow morning you can go on your way and we'll never see each other again. Something dark flashed across his face. Is that what you want? The question caught me off guard. What? Do you want me to leave tomorrow and never see me again? I should have said yes, should have kept this simple and uncomplicated. Instead, I heard myself say, I don't know. He stepped closer, and I could feel the heat radiating from him. I know what I want. What's that? To understand why a beautiful woman would risk her safety for a stranger. Why you'd bring me into your home, feed me, clothe me, and ask for nothing in return. It's called kindness. Maybe you're not familiar with it. His laugh was rough. I'm familiar with it. I'm just not used to experiencing it without strings attached. Well, there are no strings here. Just human, wolf decency. You're Omega. It wasn't a question. Yeah, is that a problem? No, just rare to find an Omega living alone in the city. Most join packs for protection. I was in a pack. It didn't work out. I didn't elaborate. Didn't mention how the pack had treated me like property. How my ex had been chosen by the Alpha as my suitable match. How I'd run the moment I turned 21 and could legally leave. Their loss, Dante said softly. You don't know me. I know enough. His hand reached out, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. The gesture was intimate, possessive, completely inappropriate. I should have pulled away. I didn't. You should get some rest, I said, my voice embarrassingly breathy. The couch folds out. Blankets are in that closet. Where will you sleep? The couch is also my bed. I'm not taking your bed. You're the guest. Mira. The way he said my name sent shivers down my spine. I'm not taking your bed. We'll share, or I'll sleep on the floor. That's ridiculous. The floor is non-negotiable. We stared at each other, both stubborn, both unwilling to back down. Finally, I sighed. Fine, we'll share, but you stay on your side. Deal. As we settled onto the fold-out couch, which was barely big enough for one person, let alone two, I tried to ignore how aware I was of him, of his warmth, his scent, the steady rhythm of his breathing. Mira? His voice came through the darkness. Yeah? Thank you, for tonight, for your kindness. A pause. I won't forget it. It's just a couch and some tea, not a big deal. It's a very big deal. I didn't know what to say to that, so I said nothing. But as I drifted off to sleep, hyper-aware of the man beside me, I couldn't shake the feeling that my life had just changed in ways I couldn't begin to understand. Chapter 2. The morning after I woke to the smell of coffee and bacon. For a moment, I was disoriented. I didn't have bacon, could barely afford instant ramen most weeks. Then I remembered. Dante. I sat up to find him in my tiny kitchen, somehow making breakfast in a space that barely fit one person. "You're cooking," I said stupidly. "I'm attempting to cook. Your kitchen is challenging." He smiled, and the expression transformed his face. "But I found eggs and bacon in your fridge." "I didn't have bacon yesterday. I went to the corner store this morning. Hope you don't mind." I stared. "You went shopping? But I thought you didn't have money." "I have money, just not access to it at the moment." He plated the food with surprising skill. "Complicated situation. Are you in trouble? Running from someone?" "In a manner of speaking." He set a plate in front of me. "Eat, then I'll explain." The food was incredible, way better than anything I could make. "You're a good cook," I said. "My mother insisted I learn. Said a man who couldn't feed himself wasn't worth much." "Smart woman." She was. Past tense. Sadness flickered in his eyes. "She passed when I was 20. I'm sorry. It was a long time ago." He sat across from me with his own plate. "Now, about my situation." My phone rang. The ringtone meant it was my boss at the diner. "Sorry, I have to take this," I answered. "Hello." "Mira, thank God. I need you to come in. Ashley called in sick and we're slammed." "I'm not scheduled today." "I know, but I'm desperate. Please? I'll pay you time and a half." Time and a half would help with rent. I couldn't afford to say no. "Fine, give me 40 minutes. I hung up to find Dante watching me. "You work at a diner?" he asked. "2 diners, actually, and I do night cleaning at an office building 3 times a week." I stood, gathering the plates. "Gotta make rent somehow." "You work 3 jobs?" Welcome to life as a lone omega in the city. I tried to keep my voice light. "The world isn't exactly set up for us to thrive." Something fierce flashed across his face. "That's going to change." "Sure it is. Right after pigs fly." I grabbed my work clothes. "Look, I have to go. You can stay if you want, or leave if you need to. Either way, there's food in the fridge and I'll wait." "What?" "I'll wait for you to come back." His amber eyes held mine. "If that's okay." I should have said no, should have kept boundaries. "Okay," I whispered. His smile was devastating. "Good. Now go. I'll clean up here." The day at the diner was brutal. We were understaffed and overcrowded, and my feet were killing me by hour 3. But I couldn't stop thinking about Dante, about the way he'd looked at me this morning, about his smile, about the strange pull I felt toward him. "Earth to Mira," my coworker Sam said. "You okay? You've been spacing out all day." "Just tired." "You're always tired. You work too hard." Sam, a beta wolf with kind eyes, had been trying to get me to join his pack for months. "The offer still stands, you know. My alpha would welcome you." "I appreciate it, but I'm not joining another pack." "Why not? You'd have protection, support. You wouldn't have to work yourself to death." "I'd also have to follow pack rules, submit to the alpha, potentially be matched with someone I don't choose." I shook my head. "I'd rather struggle alone than lose my freedom again." Sam sighed. "You're stubborn. And you're persistent. We're even." When my shift finally ended at 8, I was exhausted. But the thought of going home, where Dante might still be waiting, energized me. I practically ran the 3 blocks to my apartment. He was there. Not just there, but he'd cleaned. My tiny apartment, which was usually cluttered and chaotic, was spotless. Dishes done, laundry folded, even the windows had been washed. "What did you do?" I stared around in shock. "I got bored." He was reading a book from my small shelf. "Hope you don't mind." You cleaned my entire apartment because you were bored? I also fixed your leaky faucet and tightened the loose handle on your closet door. He set down the book. How was work? Exhausting. But why are you... I gestured around. Why are you still here? I thought you'd leave. I told you I'd wait. Yes, but I didn't think you actually meant... I stopped. Dante, what's going on? Who are you, really? He stood, moving toward me with that predatory grace I'd noticed last night. I'm someone who's been looking for you my entire life, he said softly. And now that I've found you, I'm not letting you go. What are you talking about? You're my mate, Mira. The world tilted. What? I knew the moment I saw you, the moment I caught your scent. His hand reached out, cupping my face. You're my fated mate, the one the moon goddess chose for me. That's impossible. I would have felt... You did feel it. You feel it right now. The pull, the connection, the way your wolf responds to mine. He was right. My wolf was practically singing, desperate to get closer to him. But you're a stranger. I don't even know your last name. Wolf. Dante Wolf. He watched my face carefully. Does that name mean anything to you? It should have. Wolf Industries was the largest corporation in the city. Wolf Tower dominated the skyline, and Dante Wolf was... You're the CEO, I breathed. The billionaire alpha. Yes. The man all the papers call the most eligible bachelor in the country. Unfortunately. You're not homeless. No. Then what were you doing in that alley? His expression darkened. Hiding. From people who want to control me. Force me into a marriage alliance I don't want. I needed space to think, so I walked away from my security detail, my assistant, all of it. Ended up in the rain, trying to figure out my next move. And I interrupted. You saved me. His thumb brushed my cheekbone. In more ways than you know. I don't understand. The marriage alliance. It's with the daughter of another powerful alpha. Good for business, terrible for my soul. I've been resisting for months, but the pressure keeps mounting. His eyes searched mine. Then I met you. My fated mate. The one person I actually want to marry. Dante. I know it's fast. I know it's crazy. But I'm not letting you go, Mira. I'll court you properly, give you time to adjust, but I'm not walking away. His voice dropped to a growl. You're mine, and I take care of what's mine. I'm not yours. Yes, you are, just like I'm yours. The bond goes both ways. This is insane. This is fate. He pulled me closer until there was no space between us. Tell me you don't feel it. Tell me your wolf isn't screaming at you to accept me. Tell me you want me to leave. I opened my mouth to do exactly that, but the words wouldn't come. Because he was right. My wolf was screaming. The bond was there, real and undeniable. And the thought of him leaving made my chest ache. I'm not asking you to marry me tomorrow, he said softly. I'm asking for a chance. Let me court you. Let me show you what we could have together. I work 3 jobs. I live in a studio apartment. I'm broke and tired and beautiful, kind, brave. Mine. His forehead touched mine. I don't care about money or status. I care about you. You don't even know me. Then let me learn. His lips brushed mine, feather-light. Please, Mira. Give me a chance. I should have said no. Should have protected my heart. But looking into his amber eyes, feeling the bond humming between us, I found myself nodding. One chance, I whispered. But I have rules. Anything. No lies, no games. And if I say stop, you stop. Deal. His smile was brilliant. You won't regret this. As he kissed me properly, deep and claiming and perfect, I hoped he was right. Because I had a feeling I was about to fall hard for the billionaire CEO who'd hidden in the rain, and falling in love with someone so far above my station could only end in heartbreak. Couldn't it? Chapter 3. The Courtship. The next morning I woke to an empty apartment. For a moment I thought I'd dreamed it all. The homeless man. The revelation. The kiss. Then I saw the note on my pillow. Had to handle some business. Don't work too hard. I'll pick you up from the diner at 8. D. Beneath it was a credit card with my name on it. I stared at it like it might bite me. He'd left me a credit card? What was I supposed to do with that? My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Did you find my note? Dante's voice was warm, intimate. And your credit card, which I'm not using. It's for emergencies. I don't need your money. I know you don't, but I need to know you're taken care of. His voice softened. Please, Mira, let me do this, for my own peace of mind. Dante, keep it in your wallet. If you never use it, fine, but it's there if you need it. I sighed. You're very stubborn. You have no idea. I could hear the smile in his voice. I have to go, but I'll see you tonight. Wear something nice. I don't own anything nice. Then wear what makes you happy. You'll be beautiful regardless. He hung up before I could protest. That night, true to his word, a sleek black car pulled up outside the diner at exactly 8. Dante stepped out, and every head turned. He was in a suit now, perfectly tailored, expensive, making him look like he'd stepped out of a magazine. But his eyes only found me. Ready? He asked, offering his hand. Where are we going? You'll see. The car took us to the nicest restaurant in the city, the kind of place I'd only seen in movies. Dante, I'm not dressed for... You're perfect. He helped me out of the car, his hand warm on my lower back. Trust me. The maitre d' greeted him by name, leading us to a private table overlooking the city lights. This is too much, I whispered as we sat. This is nothing. His eyes held mine across the candlelight. I'd give you the world if you'd let me. I don't want the world. I just want... I stopped. What? Tell me what you want, Mira. Honesty, authenticity, someone who sees me, not what I can do for them. I see you. His hand reached across the table, finding mine. I see your kindness, your strength, the way you work yourself to exhaustion to maintain your independence, the way you helped a stranger without asking for anything in return. His thumb traced circles on my palm. I see all of you, and I want all of you. The intensity in his voice made my breath catch. Tell me about yourself, I said, trying to lighten the mood. The real you, not the CEO everyone sees. So he did. He told me about growing up as an alpha heir, the pressure to be perfect, about losing his mother and having to lead his pack at 21, about building Wolf Industries from his father's small company into an empire, about how lonely it was at the top. I have everything, he said quietly. Money, power, respect. But none of it means anything without someone to share it with. What about friends? Family? My father's alive, but retired. We're not close. My brother... His expression darkened. Let's just say he's more interested in my money than my well-being. As for friends, when you're this wealthy, it's hard to know who likes you and who likes your wallet. That sounds lonely. It is. His eyes found mine. Until I met you. We've known each other for 2 days. Doesn't matter. When you know, you know. He squeezed my hand. Now tell me about you. The real you. So I told him about growing up in a small pack, about my parents who died when I was 16, about being raised by the pack alpha who saw me as property, about my ex who'd been chosen for me, who'd made it clear I was a disappointment, about running away at 21 with nothing but a backpack and hope. You're incredibly brave, Dante said when I finished. I'm not brave. I'm just tired of being controlled. That's what makes you brave. His gaze was fierce. You chose freedom over security, independence over comfort. That takes courage. Or stupidity. Never stupidity. You're brilliant, Mira. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." The sincerity in his voice made tears prick my eyes. After dinner, he drove me home. "Can I come up?" he asked at my door. "I don't think that's a good idea. I just want to talk. I promised to be a gentleman." "That's what I'm afraid of," I muttered. His laugh was warm. "Let me in, Mira. Please." Against my better judgment, I did. We talked until 2 in the morning, about everything and nothing, about dreams and fears and hopes for the future. And when he finally left, pressing a soft kiss to my forehead, I realized I was in serious trouble. Because I was falling for him. Hard and fast and completely. Chapter 4. The complications over the next 2 weeks, Dante courted me like I was precious. Flowers at the diner, lunch delivered to my work, dinners at amazing restaurants, and always, always, his complete attention. He never pushed, never demanded, just cherished me. It was intoxicating and terrifying, because I knew it couldn't last. The reality hit one morning when I was leaving the diner after my shift. A woman was waiting outside, elegant, beautiful, dripping in designer clothes and expensive jewelry. "You must be Mira," she said, her smile sharp. "Can I help you?" "I'm Victoria Sterling, Dante's fiancée." The world tilted. "What? Oh, he didn't tell you?" Her laugh was cruel. "How typical." "Yes, Dante and I have been engaged for 6 months. Our families have an arrangement." "He told me he didn't want that marriage. What he wants is irrelevant. Our union is good for both packs, both businesses. It's happening whether he likes it or not." She stepped closer, and I could smell her expensive perfume. "And you, little Omega, are just a distraction. A momentary amusement before he accepts his duty. You're lying." "Am I?" "Ask him about the engagement party scheduled for next month. Ask him about the contract his father signed. Ask him why he's been hiding from his responsibilities." Her smile was vicious. "He's using you, sweetheart. Once he's bored, he'll toss you aside and marry me like he's supposed to." She left me standing there, her words echoing in my mind. That night, when Dante came to pick me up, I confronted him. "Is it true?" I asked. "Are you engaged to Victoria Sterling?" His expression shuddered. "Who told you? So it is true." "It's complicated. It's a yes or no question, Dante. Are you engaged to another woman?" "On paper, yes. But I never agreed to it. My father signed the contract without my consent." "You lied to me." The betrayal cut deep. "You said no lies." "I didn't lie. I just didn't—" "Tell me you were engaged? That's a pretty big omission, don't you think?" "I was going to tell you. When? After you married her? After you got bored with the poor Omega?" Tears burned my eyes. "She said you're using me, that I'm just a distraction." "She's wrong. Mira, you have to believe me. I don't have to believe anything. I was stupid to think this could work. You're a billionaire CEO with obligations and alliances and you're my mate." His voice cracked. "You think I care about contracts or business arrangements when I found you? You think I'd choose Victoria over my fated mate? I don't know what you'd choose. We've known each other for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you've become my entire world." He moved toward me, desperate. "I'm breaking the engagement. I'm telling my father and her family that I won't marry her. But these things take time." "How much time?" "I don't know, but I swear to you, Mira." "Don't make promises you can't keep." I stepped back. "I think you should go." "No, we need to talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about. You're engaged. I'm not going to be the other woman." "You're not the other woman. You're my mate. I'm an Omega you met 2 weeks ago while you were engaged to someone else." My voice broke. "Please, just go." "Mira, go." He left, and I collapsed on my couch, crying harder than I had in years. Because I'd known it was too good to be true. Men like Dante Wolf didn't end up with women like me. They married socialites and business partners and women who fit their world. Not broke Omega girls working 3 jobs just to survive. For 3 days, I ignored his calls and texts, avoided places he might find me, threw myself into work until I was too exhausted to think. On the 4th day, Sam cornered me at the diner. "Okay, what happened? You look like death." "Nothing happened." "You're a terrible liar. Is this about that guy? The one who's been picking you up in the fancy car?" "There is no guy. Not anymore. Mira." "I don't want to talk about it." But that night, when I got home, Dante was waiting outside my apartment. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days. "We need to talk," he said. "I told you. I broke it off, the engagement. It's done." I stared at him. "What?" "I told my father I wouldn't marry Victoria. Told her family the deal was off. Burned every bridge I had to make it clear." His voice was raw. "You're the only woman I want. The only one I'll ever want. Dante, you can't just, your business deals, your pack alliances, can all burn for all I care. None of it matters without you." He stepped closer. "I love you, Mira. I've loved you since you brought me home in the rain, since you offered kindness to a stranger without asking for anything in return, since you challenged me and pushed back and refused to be impressed by money or power. You barely know me. I know everything that matters. I know you're kind and brave and stubborn. I know you work yourself to exhaustion to maintain your independence. I know you'd rather struggle alone than compromise your freedom." His hands cupped my face, and I know that losing you would destroy me in ways nothing else ever could. "I'm scared," I whispered. "So am I. But I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you. What if this doesn't work? What if we're too different? Then we'll figure it out together. But Mira..." His eyes held mine, golden and intense. "I'm not giving up on us. On you. On what we could have together. So you need to decide. Are you brave enough to take this chance with me?" I looked at him, really looked at him. Saw the vulnerability beneath the power, the loneliness beneath the wealth, the desperate hope in his eyes. And I made my choice. "Yes," I breathed. "I'm brave enough." His kiss was everything. Relief and joy and desperate love, all wrapped into one. And as he held me, the bond between us blazing bright, I knew I'd made the right choice. Even if the world thought we were crazy, even if obstacles lay ahead, we'd face them together. Chapter 5. The Revelation. Absolutely not. Dante's father, Malcolm Wolfe, stood in the penthouse office, his face purple with rage. We'd been summoned to Wolfe Tower for a family meeting that was really just an ambush. "The engagement is broken," Dante said calmly. "I'm not marrying Victoria. You signed a contract. You signed a contract, without my knowledge or consent." Dante's voice was steel. "Which makes it void. You're throwing away a multi-billion-dollar alliance for this..." Malcolm's eyes raked over me with contempt. "This Omega? This Omega is my fated mate. Show her respect or leave." "Fated mates," Malcolm scoffed. "That's just the moon goddess's way of complicating perfectly good business arrangements." "Father, I won't allow it. You will marry Victoria Sterling. You will complete the alliance. And you'll send this girl back to whatever gutter she crawled out of." The words stung, but I lifted my chin. "I'm standing right here." "I know." Malcolm's smile was cruel. "Which makes this easier. Here's how this works, Miss Chen. I'll pay you $5 million to disappear from my son's life. You sign a non-disclosure agreement, you leave the city, and you never contact him again. I'm not for sale. Everyone has a price. Not me." I looked at Dante. "Can we go now?" Pride and love flashed across his face. "Absolutely." "If you walk out that door," Malcolm threatened, "I'll cut you off. No more money, no more company, no more pack." Dante's hand found mine. "Then I guess I'm unemployed." We left Malcolm sputtering in his office. In the elevator, I turned to Dante. You just gave up everything. I gave up nothing that mattered. He pulled me close. You're what matters, Mira. Just you. But your company, your pack. I started one company. I can start another. And as for the pack, his smile was sharp. My father may be the alpha, but he's old. I have loyal wolves who'll follow me. We'll form our own pack if we have to. This is crazy. This is love. He kissed my forehead. Now, how do you feel about moving in with me? And before you argue, I'm not keeping you in that tiny apartment when I have a perfectly good penthouse sitting empty. Dante, I'll even let you pay rent if it makes you feel better. $1 a month sound fair? Despite everything, I laughed. You're impossible. And you love me anyway. I really do. Moving into Dante's penthouse was surreal. The place was enormous, more square footage than I'd lived in my entire life combined. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city, a kitchen bigger than my old apartment, a bathroom with a tub that could fit 4 people. This is too much, I said, standing in the middle of the vast living room. It's home. Dante wrapped his arms around me from behind. Our home. If you want to change anything, redecorate, whatever. It's yours. I wouldn't even know where to start. Then start with making it feel like you live here. Your books on the shelves, your photos on the walls, your presence in every room. His lips brushed my neck. I want to smell you everywhere. Want to wake up surrounded by your scent. Want this place to feel like us. Over the next few days, I tried to settle in, but it was hard. I was still working my jobs, refused to quit even when Dante offered to support me financially. I need my independence, I explained. I need to know I can take care of myself. I understand, but at least let me hire you. What? Wolf Industries needs a new community outreach director. Someone who understands what it's like to struggle. Someone who can connect with people from all walks of life. His eyes were serious. You'd be perfect. I don't have experience. You have life experience. That's more valuable. He handed me a file. Look it over. Think about it. The salary is competitive. The hours are reasonable, and you'd actually be making a difference. I looked through the file. The position was real, the job description extensive, the salary more than my 3 jobs combined. This isn't charity. This is recognizing talent when I see it. You're wasted scrubbing floors and serving coffee, Mira. Let me help you use your gifts. I took the job and discovered I was good at it. Within weeks, I'd implemented new community programs, set up partnerships with shelters, created initiatives to help lone wolves find housing and employment. You're a natural, Dante said one night, watching me work on my laptop. I'm just doing what should have been done years ago. That's what makes you perfect for this. He pulled me into his lap. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for taking a chance on me. Everything was perfect. Until the night Victoria showed up at our penthouse. We need to talk, she said, pushing past me when I opened the door. Victoria, you need to leave. No, I need Dante to understand what he's throwing away. She turned as he entered from the bedroom. Your father's dying. Dante froze. What? Heart attack. 3 days ago. He's in the hospital asking for you. Her expression was smug, begging you to come back, make amends, take your place in the company. Is this a trick? Call the hospital yourself. She tossed him a card. Room 4012. But you'd better hurry. Doctors don't think he has long. She left, and Dante stood there shell-shocked. I have to go, he said. I know. I'll come with you. No. Stay here. I need to do this alone. Dante, he kissed me quickly. I love you. I'll be back soon. But something in his eyes made me worried, and when he didn't return that night, my worries intensified. I called his phone. No answer. Called the hospital. They wouldn't give me information since I wasn't family. By morning, I was frantic. Then I saw the news. Dante Wolf returns to family business. Engagement to Victoria Sterling back on. The accompanying photo showed Dante and Victoria, his arm around her waist, both smiling for the cameras. My world shattered. He'd left me, gone back to his old life, chosen duty over love. I should have known it was too good to be true. Men like Dante Wolf didn't end up with women like me. They never did. Chapter 6. The truth, I spent 3 days in the penthouse, numb. He didn't call, didn't text, didn't come home. On the 4th day, I packed my things. If he'd chosen his old life, I wouldn't stay where I wasn't wanted. I was halfway to the door when it burst open. Dante stood there, disheveled and desperate. "Don't," he said. "Please don't leave. You left first." My voice was dead. "You went back to her, to your father, to the life you said you didn't want. It's not what you think. The pictures are pretty clear. Are fabricated, photoshopped, lies." He moved toward me. "My father did have a heart attack, but he's fine, recovering. And the moment I got to the hospital, Victoria and her father were there, with a new contract, demands, threats." "What kind of threats?" "Against you." His hands clenched. "They said if I didn't return to the company, didn't go through with the engagement, they'd ruin you, destroy your reputation, get you blacklisted from every job in the city, make sure you'd never work again." "So, you caved?" "No. I pretended to cave while I gathered evidence." He pulled out his phone, showing me photos, documents, recordings. "Victoria's father has been embezzling from Sterling Industries for years. I have proof, enough to send him to prison and tank their company." "You blackmailed them?" "I protected my mate." His eyes blazed. "They threatened you? That's unforgivable." "The photos, taken at the hospital, out of context. Victoria grabbed me for a photo op, and they released it to the press with a fake story." He stepped closer. "I've already issued a statement denying everything, exposing their lies, making it clear that you're my mate and the only woman I'll ever marry." "Marry?" He dropped to one knee, pulling out a ring box. "Mira Chen, I know this is fast. I know we've only known each other for 2 months, but I also know that you're my everything. My mate, my heart, my home." His voice shook. "Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down my face. "You're crazy." "Crazy about you, is that a yes?" "What about your father? The company? The pack?" "My father retired. Handed the company to me with no strings. Said, and I quote, 'If that Omega can make you smile like that, she's worth more than any business alliance.'" Dante's smile was brilliant. "As for the pack, they support us. They've seen how happy you make me, how much good you've done in the community. They want you as their Luna." "I don't know how to be a Luna." "You'll learn. We'll learn together." His hand cupped my face. "Marry me, Mira. Let me spend the rest of my life showing you how loved you are." I looked at the ring, a simple diamond, elegant and perfect. Looked at the man kneeling before me, offering me everything, and I made my choice. "Yes," I whispered. "Yes, I'll marry you." His kiss was joyful, victorious, full of love and promise. And as he slipped the ring on my finger, I realized something. I'd brought home a homeless man one rainy night, and he'd changed my entire world. Not because of his money or power or position, but because he saw me. Really saw me. And loved me. Anyway. Epilogue. 1 year later. The community center opened to massive fanfare. I stood beside Dante, watching as lone wolves, struggling families, and people who'd been overlooked by society filed through the doors. "You did this," Dante murmured, pride evident in his voice. "We did this." I squeezed his hand. Together. The center was my dream, a place where wolves without packs could find support. Job training, housing assistance, medical care. All free, all judgment-free, all focused on helping people thrive. Funded entirely by Wolf Industries, and run by me, Luna of the Black Fang Pack and Director of Community Outreach. Luna Mira, a young Omega approached, nervous but hopeful. I wanted to thank you. The job placement program helped me find work. Real work, with benefits and everything. That's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. As she walked away, Dante pulled me close. You're changing lives, he said softly. Every single day. So are you. The new PAC policies, the fair wage initiatives, the housing developments are only happening because you showed me what mattered, what I should have been focusing on all along. He kissed my temple. You made me better, Mira. We made each other better. That night, at home in our penthouse, now filled with my books and photos and all the little touches that made it ours, we celebrated. I have something for you, Dante said, pulling out a photo album. Inside were pictures from that first night. The rainy alley where we'd met, my tiny studio apartment, the diner where he'd picked me up for our first date. You kept photos? I wanted to remember where we started. His fingers traced my face in the images. The night I met my mate. The woman who saw past the CEO to the man underneath, who offered kindness without expecting anything in return. I expected you to leave the next day, I admitted. Thought I'd never see you again. Instead, you got stuck with me forever. Best mistake I ever made. He pulled out one more item, a small velvet box. We're already married, I laughed. I know, but I wanted to give you this. Inside was a key. To that tiny studio apartment. I bought the building, turned it into transitional housing for Omegas who need a safe place to land. And your apartment, his smile was soft, is preserved exactly as it was. Our beginning. I thought maybe one day, when we have kids, we could show them where their parents fell in love. Tears filled my eyes. You're going to make me cry. Happy tears, I hope. The happiest. As we stood on the balcony, looking out over the city where we'd met, I marveled at how far we'd come. From a rainy night and a chance encounter, to this, to us, to a love that had changed everything. Thank you, I whispered. For what? For letting me save you. Thank you for saving me. His arms tightened, in every way possible. The kind girl had brought home a homeless man, and discovered he was a billionaire CEO who wanted only her. But more than that, she'd found her mate, her partner, her home, and together they'd built a life more beautiful than either could have imagined. All because of one act of kindness on a rainy night. Some would call it luck. I called it fate. And I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Mira and Dante, proof that kindness is never wasted, and true love sees past all disguises. Did this story warm your heart? Did you believe in the power of compassion? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which moment touched you most, and subscribe to Luna's Romance audiobooks for more stories of unexpected love. I want to know, would you have brought home a stranger in the rain? Would you have given a homeless man shelter? Tell me in the comments. And speaking of unexpected encounters, our next story is going to sweep you off your feet. It's called The Rogue Alpha's Bride, and it follows a she-wolf sold in marriage to pay her father's debts to a rogue alpha king with a dark reputation. She expects cruelty. She finds passion. And the mate bond that forms between them might be the only thing that can save his fractured kingdom. Until next time, my dreamers, may your kindness be rewarded, your compassion be recognized, and your love stories begin with a single act of bravery. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.